All right, scholars, you can pull your bookmark out of your book. I remember yesterday, Jax peers more closely at the plastic bag and realizes something is wrong. There are only two dragons in the bag. Ma raises her eyes to meet mine. She's not angry, yet. Without meaning to, I've embarrassed Ma in front of her friends. She takes a deep breath and says, Jax, I've always tried to be honest with you, and now I need you to be honest with me. Did you lose the third dragon? No, I cry, blinking back tears of frustration. Sis glares at me. Did you think you could keep one for yourself? Stunned, I swallow hard and try to think of something to say. There were three dragons when I left Brooklyn, but there are only two in Ma's hand now. I drop to my knees and rifle through Ma's purse. They were there, all three of them. I put them in the sandwich bag, but the fire-breathing one melted the plastic, so I thought they'd be safer in that side pocket. I trusted you, Jax, Ma says with obvious disappointment. Sis sucks her teeth and looks at me with disdain. What did you expect from a mere boy? My space feels like it's on fire, but the dragon lady turns her full fury on the professor. I trusted you, Elroy. You swore you would keep my dragon safe. I kept my promise, sis. Your dragons have come with no harm. It's destiny, Elroy proclaims triumphantly. Magic will find its way back into our world no matter how hard you try to keep it out, Ma. Actually, Treb says, I think I know what happened to that last dragon. Nate did say he smelled a thief, and Jax has a little friend with sticky fingers, right? Oh no, was that rat that started talking to them at the park, and said he smelled a thief. And Jax has a little friend with sticky fingers, right? I really don't want to solve another riddle right now, but as soon as Treb says sticky, I know exactly what he means. Kavita! I shout angrily as if she could hear me. She stole my dragon! My dragon, you mean? I look up to find Sis's laser-like eyes on me. The neon green butterfly has been replaced with another. Its red wings beat so fast that it looks like a flame dancing around her stern face. I look down at Ma's empty purse to hide my shame. Ma hands the two dragons over to Sis. As soon as she frees them from the plastic bag, they disappear in the folds of her shimmering dress. Ma closes her purse and clicks the latch. Well, she says with a heavy sigh, what do we do now? I jump up and volunteer. I'll go back and get it, Ma. When Vic finds out what her sister's done, she'll be in so much trouble. Too late, Elroy says with a smug smile on his face. They're growing. This Kavita, she fed them, I presume? I avoid Ma's eyes again and nod reluctantly. Elroy claps his hands and hops from one foot to the other. The remaining dragon will have grown attached to the girl already. I should have saved precious time and mailed them directly to her instead. Maybe that's the way to ensure the future of magic. Leave it to the kiddies. Hush up, Elroy, Ma hisses. I'm trying to think. For a moment, we all stand under the tent, waiting for Ma to come up with a solution. Finally, Treb clears his throat and says, I'll take the boy back to Brooklyn, Ma. We can pick up the last dragon and come straight back here. Ma shakes her head. I appreciate the offer, Treb, but you don't know what state the dragon is in now. It could be too big to transport if the girl's been feeding it, and the other two dragons won't thrive until they are reunited with their sibling. No, this is something I need to handle myself. Ma holds out her hands, and Treb pulls her to her feet. Elroy picks up Ma's trench coat and holds it out as she slips her arms into the sleeves. I set Ma's sneakers in front of her, and she slips them on without unfastening the Velcro straps. Sis hands Ma her cane. So much for retirement, Ma says with a sigh. Then she pulls her purse straps over her shoulder and says, Come on, Jax. Time to go home. I don't want to question Ma, but we can't all fit inside the transporter. Treb puts his hand on my shoulder and says, I'm going to stay here with Elroy, Jax. You go with Ma, and I'll catch up with you later. My heart is already heavy, but now my throat starts to close, too. If Treb is a rolling stone, will I really see him again? I swallow hard and manage to squeak out one word. Promise? Treb pulls me close and gives me a hug. Promise. You are one brave boy, Jackson, but you've done enough for one day. Go home and give that big brain of yours a rest. Us old folks will take it from here. Trub bends down and presses his lips to the top of my head. Kiss your mama for me, he whispers in my ear before walking away from the tent. Elroy shakes my hand and looks at me over his glasses. Remember, Jax, he says solemnly, magic will find you if you believe. Elroy turns and salutes Ma, who just rolls her eyes. Then he joins Trub, and together they head off down the red dirt road. I must make preparations for your journey, Sis says solemnly. She grabs hold of the wooden pole holding up the tent, and instantly everything around it disappears. The orange cloth, the stool, the reed mat, and the bowl of golden mangoes. I will wait for you at the gate, Sis tells Ma. She says nothing to me before wading into the blue grass growing beneath the baobab trees. I watch Sis walk away with her staff in her hands, wishing I had the courage to blurt out a promise. I will return your dragon. But before I build up the nerve, a sudden gust of wind blows dust into my eyes, and when I clear them, Sis has disappeared. All right. So now that we have finished chapter 11, in your questions on Schoology today, I want you to answer, how does Elroy respond to the missing dragons? How is he feeling? How does he respond? What does he say? And then how does Sis respond to the missing dragons? They've had very different responses. So I want you to see and give me evidence for why and how each of them responded. You can put your bookmarks in your books. We will finish Dragons in a Bag next week and start reading chapter 11 or chapter 12.